tell now, all of this would go to landfill or incineration. So we'd lose all of this.
From something old could come something new. This is a world-first recycling machine for polyester fabric, an attempt to reduce the 700,000-tonne waste mountain of unwanted clothes, uniforms and other textiles that Britain produces each year. In just 20 minutes, it shreds and melts the polyester, turning it into plastic pellets to make new clothing.
That's probably enough to make a T-shirt. It makes much better use of that plastic, and we never want to lose that plastic. We're never going to throw it away. And that is, as long as we can use plastic in the best way possible, then it has a use for us going forward. If we're wasting it and losing it into the environment, that's a terrible waste, and we mustn't allow that to happen.
Solutions like this are one way to deal with our plastic problem, but it's a crisis on a global scale as we approach a last gasp international plastics treaty to stop pollution.
So do you think a treaty is important to the kind of work that you do?
We've got to lower the impact of clothing. There is no doubt that everyone in the industry recognises the damage that has been done. We cannot allow it to continue in the same way that it's going at the moment.
United Nations talks to agree a treaty collapsed at the end of last year. Now a group of high-ambition countries, including Britain, want plastic production and consumption reduced to sustainable levels.
More than 430 million tonnes of plastic are produced each year worldwide. 11 million end up in the ocean as pollution, and that's predicted to rise to 29 million tonnes by 2040, unless there's action.
But major oil-producing nations oppose any limits on production, and the industry says it could reduce supply of material suitable for medical uses.
It's a bit of a David and Goliath battle.
Richard Thompson sounded the alarm over tiny pieces of microplastic in the environment 20 years ago and says recycling alone will never deal with the problem.
I think we're seeing some coercion and some pressure being put by some of those that have got conflicts of interest, that fear that they stand to lose from the treaty process. I hope that they can do that, and it concerns me that I see some nations that are taking an increasingly short-sighted view, a view that's perhaps driven by political cycles or short-run profits. We need those leaders of countries, those negotiators, to take the long-term view to protect our planet for future generations.
We were able to redesign everything, every constituent part of this, so that it's recyclable.
This school blazer is an example of how clothes could be made. The fabric, buttons and shoulder pads are all polyester and easy to recycle again and again. It sounds so simple, but it's a game changer. But to make a difference, action needs to be global, and the stakes have never been higher. Thomas Moore, Sky News.